It's Thursday night, and it's time to unwrap Las Vegas right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
Stand by, everybody. Here we go. Anytime you're ready, gentlemen.
All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. I'll never forget the day that Mr. Cash broke the news of a Ricky Cash fan club to me. My butt still hurts from when I fell on the floor last time. But I will say, with his input and President Ted's thoughtfulness to this, it has allowed us to do things that we could have been doing, but with a lot more struggle. And now with the membership and those jumping on board, it's made things a lot easier. So
it's given us a chance to give back some money to the community. I mean, everybody loves when we show up for events and things like that. But
because people love free.
Yeah, but when you can write a check,
right,
that makes a big difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Without further ado, ADIEU, is that how it's spelled? Further ado, ADIEU,
yes.
The French version. We're going to introduce our listening audience to a networking organization called Business Connectors. And in our studio, we have the facilitator of our weekly meetings, Doug Forrester. How are you, Doug?
I'm doing really well, thanks.
And Doug's been on our show before. About a year ago, he did a business spotlight about his financial business, and the video is up on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. And also sitting...
9,317 views.
Absolutely. At least 317. But anyway, and then sitting also to Doug's right, no, I will say it was good because he did actually get some contacts after it. So, the Reverend Ernie Martin, the Reverend of Love, who's been on radio before. Actually, I think this is the first time you're on radio with us.
Yes, first
Except for
time.
when Denise has been in, we've kind of grabbed you to put you on.
That's right.
But this is all Ernie this time.
Just me today.
There you go.
But
So,
he's big time now. You know that.
I know.
You saw him when he's on with
Robert Seidel on
Seidel.
KXNT.
Whoa.
Weekly? Are you on weekly with him on Sundays?
Weekly, most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time on Sundays, right?
On Sunday
He
evenings.
imparts his spiritual blessings during Robert's show, because Robert's show is a very spiritual show. He's an attorney,
I know he is.
but he
know
does
he
his thing. But we're not here to talk about Robert. We're here to talk about Business Connectors. Tuesday mornings at 7 a.m. at the Bacon Bar on Gowan and Rancho. Used to be the old Kerry Sports Pub. I also was on the show Bar Rescue. John Taffer came out and converted it to the Bacon Bar. The best bacon in town, my God. You do so much bacon. Doug, how are you?
Doing really well.
Why don't you give a little backstory on the organization, because I know that Business Connectors has sort of evolved over the course of time, and most organizations do anyway. Why don't you give a little history about how the group got started and really the premise of what Business Connectors is all about?
Well, I did post tonight that Business Connectors is the original Business Connectors. Because there are several in the Valley now that call themselves Business Connectors.
Okay.
Southwest Business Connectors and Henderson Business Connectors, I think. So there are several. But we were the original. A group of us started out at the North Las Vegas Chamber.
Okay.
And it was a pretty good group, pretty diverse, but wasn't growing, so they decided not to sponsor us anymore. So at that time we decided, let's meet on our own. We picked Kerry Sports Pub, now the Bacon Bar, and it's been thriving ever since. One time we were really huge. You started a Wednesday group also, so now we're back to just on Tuesday.
Just on Tuesday?
But still a pretty good group, but they do support each other. I like the group, and we've been going for over 5 years.
Okay. Now, I mean, the basis of networking, for those who don't know, because, back east, where we come from, business networking, unless you were a member of Kiwanis or Rotary or something like that, that was networking in a lot of circles, or on the golf course. But business networking as we do it, and of course here with the 100+ golf courses we have, it's still a good thing. But business networking in Vegas, I think, is a lifeblood to small business thriving and growing. Would you not agree, guys?
Absolutely. And there's been some posts recently from people talking about networking is not working here. And I beg to differ. I think it's really working well. It's got to be all about relationships.
Right.
And that's
Absolutely.
what we do. I mean, I've developed some really good relationships with you and Ricky through that show, or through that process. All the guys in that group right now, we really support each other. If we're out in the evening and an evening event, we'll look each other up to see who
Right.
can we introduce the other people to.
Right.
So it's
Absolutely.
a great networking venue.
Now, Ernie, you and I have known each other for a number of years, and we've crossed paths at different networking groups, but the one consistent one that you and I run into each other at is the Business Connectors.
That's right.
What is it about that group that works so well for you and your ministry?
Well, it's pretty good because it's close to my condo, and
Uh-huh.
plus I know the group, and I've been in the group for about, close to like almost like 3.5, a little over 3 years.
Okay?
And it's close by, and plus I know a lot of the group members.
Mhm.
They're very friendly, easy to talk to, interact with them,
Mhm.
and easygoing.
Okay.
And Doug is a good leader that is very, very flexible
Mm-hmm.
on attendance, as well as presentations come around. He's very, very, what you call, very open about it, giving
Mhm.
more minutes for the presentations.
Right.
things like.
Okay, very good. Now, guys, what is important to networking to you and your business? I mean, obviously we belong to these organizations for a reason, and you mentioned what goes behind it, relationships and stuff, but what is the basis of networking among business people? I mean, it's all about relationships, but let's face it, we're all there to do what? We're all there to make money.
Build our business, yeah,
Right.
make money.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it gives us the opportunity to really meet with each other on a regular basis, make sure we're building that relationship. So I'm able to say, you know, I'm looking this week for, and give an example.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're going about their week, they can think of me and that particular example I've given them. Like yourself, talking about the school district.
Mhm.
You know, have some contacts in the school district. Well, this week I'm working a little bit more in the school district. If you had somebody, you know, there, I'd like to meet with them and so on. So we carry those things forward
Mhm.
each week, talking about what our needs are for the next week, 2 weeks, a month. So it's really unusual because you can't just walk into a business on the street and say,
Right.
you know, I'm looking for this, who can you introduce me to?
Exactly. Cash.
Yeah, two things that I found very, very interesting with network marketing here in town, and one of them I totally didn't expect. The first one I did is that, you know, with social media and being able to get somebody that you need to do something in a hurry, you've got a book that you open it up and there's 30, 40 business cards right there of people that, you know, are gonna help you do something that's gonna be important to you as soon as possible. That was the first big plus of network marketing. The second one, and I call it a byproduct, is that these business connectors, in many, many cases, become your close personal friends. And I don't think that's something that you normally would find if you're looking up somebody in the yellow pages, right, to come to your house to fix a pipe, and he fixes the pipe, and that's the last thing you hear from the person.
Sure.
But I find that a nice little social piece, which is very, very important here in Vegas, the so-called town that difficult to make friends, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's how you and I met,
Through networking.
originally through networking.
Through networking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. And
Absolutely.
look at us now.
I know.
Never mind.
What?
Cut that out.
Cut that out. We'll edit that out. What are some of the other business, I mean, we're gonna have, you know, obviously we have ministry, we have financial planning, we're gonna have Legal Shield, we have a PhD here, a professional hairdresser. But what are some of the other businesses that are members of the group?
Well, actually, some of the more successful businesses, Aqua Plumbing has been a really good member of our group.
Right? Artie White, he's been on our
Artie
show
White,
Sure has.
during the margin tax stuff.
He does a lot of stuff in the valley, just in the community. There's a lot of free things for people, free inspections, stuff like that. So we can talk about him regularly in our neighborhoods about the value of having that business in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
We have M&I International, watch, clock, and jewelry.
Mm-hmm. Tom
Outstanding
Welsh.
business, yeah,
Mhm.
Tom Welsh. He really supports the rest of the group. Anything, he will drop things off at the meeting, he'll take them and bring them back to the next meeting, so you don't have to go out of your way to take your stuff to be repaired.
Mm-hmm.
Good value, now they started a pen business, custom pens, anywhere from about $100 to $5,000 for each custom built pens. And they are really awesome pens.
Mhm.
I actually did a piece of business because
Oh,
the
the pen.
gentleman liked my pen and thought it was really classy that I was have something other than a Mont Blanc.
And they are great pens.
They
They
are.
really are.
Really are.
Now, we also have insurance.
Insurance,
Right.
Patrick Becker from Allstate.
Mm-hmm.
We have doTERRA Essential Oils. It's been
Right.
really a good process for me in helping me heal the shoulder injury
Right.
that I had.
Right. Yeah, that's a remarkable story. Share that about the power of the oils.
Yeah, I had a surgery for a hospital mistake. Ended up having to have a bone graft.
And here we are,
Yeah, take
giving
it
all
away.
these props earlier for the hospitals and healthcare.
Yes, it's terrible. But anyway, it's been a couple of years ago, and I still had struggle with mobility in that arm.
Right.
And I had a young lady come to our house, explain to us the benefits of some of the oils, and she did a treatment on my shoulder, kind of in the whole area. And in 5 minutes, I was able to, unusually, stand against the wall, raise my hand up, and touch the wall over my head.
Because it gave you
And
that flexibility.
It gave me
back.
that flexibility.
Wow.
Just having that oil in my system,
Right.
loosening up that joint,
Right.
no pain. It was just unbelievable.
So that does work.
I wonder if that would
great
work
stuff.
on the sciatic.
I was just gonna say, put it on your back, man, give it a try. It's worth a shot.
Try
Yeah.
Wesson oil first for you.
Yeah, the next thing will be frying eggs.
Right, exactly.
And there were a lot of other things too, some things about relaxing and
Sure.
and lung issues.
Right.
I have a cough that I have repeatedly over the
Okay.
years. Let's help that a little bit. So it's a really good business. I think who else in there? We have real estate. We have a mortgage, the Vegas Mortgage Man,
Mhm.
part of our group.
Of course, one of our favorites, Downtown Dale Brown,
Yep.
Las Vegas Real
And that
Estate.
really, he is, I refer to nobody else in the valley but Dale Brown
Right.
for auto work.
Right.
He does painting. I haven't used that for auto because I
Let's
don't.
hope you don't have to.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But I've seen his work. Our computer repair guy will be back joining us again,
Okay.
Gary Baldazar,
Okay.
GP Computing. And
You
Gary
know
had
her
an ac-
daughter very well,
yeah,
Christine.
Gary had an accident and took his vehicle to Dale, and he said he was just amazed that he got it back and couldn't tell that it was just a big damaged area to the door. Couldn't even tell it had been done.
Wow.
That's amazing. I've gone to Dale, not a half a dozen times over
Mhm.
the past 3 years. I've not gotten to him at all.
Right.
He's been amazing.
And he took care of my car before I left with the sound doctor to St. Louis.
Sure.
Bernie, talk about what you're doing with your ministry, but it's more than just the ministry. You know, you officiate services, as you mentioned, life events. Talk about that and what you look for in your business and how networking helps you and your ministry.
Well, basically, what I do is officiate ceremonies like weddings or vow renewals or commitment ceremonies. Now, there's marriage equality in the state of Nevada, so I have the opportunity even to officiate same-sex wedding ceremonies. So that's in the works now. That's a reality.
Right. Absolutely.
I also officiate services like celebration of life. People make a transition to a different life. I mean, eternal life.
Mhm.
So I officiate those. They're very good because you need a lot of a different type of psychology involved, a lot of compassion and kindness involved there, and a lot of empathy, a lot of patience is involved, a lot of empathy and understanding is very important in the celebration of life ceremonies, sometimes called memorial services,
Mhm.
and also funeral services. That's part of the ministry, but the other part is senior ministry, go to the assisted living places and have prayers and singing, as well as testimonials in assisted living places as a volunteer. Those are very good. I also have webinars on the phone, monthly discussions on spiritual topics. So that's the overall picture of my ministry. It's not just ceremonies, it's other aspects of life, other aspects of living that we live in our communities.
Right, right. So let me ask you a question. We're going to go to the break right after this question so we can change out a little bit. How can people get more information? What's the website, Facebook page, if they want to learn more about the group?
For Business Connectors,
Mhm.
just think that's businessconnectors.com
And membership information is on there.
on there. Yeah.
Contact information for all the businesses. So if you're coming to Vegas, as an example, and you're going to plan a wedding, Ernie does weddings, and we've got photography, Dave, that I know Ernie's worked with. If you need some financial planning, you've got all the contact information on there for Doug, and it really is well worth checking out the website.
One last question before break, Doug. What other services would you like to see join the group, be part of the group that you think are essential to the community's needs?
Well, we had an electrician for a while. We still refer to him, but they've been really busy, so I guess because the group helped them a lot, maybe. So we could use an electrician coming regularly, because that's what we really need to have, that support in the group. Businesses show up and want to get business, but then they don't come back. It's hard to refer to them. So an electrician, we had an attorney that was attending for a while, so an attorney would be really good for the group. Merchant services, air conditioning, our air conditioning man, once again, got so much business from the group, they get too busy to come back. That's about it for now, I think.
Okay,
Great.
we're always looking,
Yeah.
always looking. So check.
Doctors, dentists.
And Ernie doesn't talk really enough about his being interfaith. There's a lot of,
Right.
different faiths out there.
Right, non-denominational.
He'll work with anybody. He just really does a good job. I've met some of the people and actually watched some of the ceremonies.
Right.
The ceremonies, the great ceremonies.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go to our bottom of the hour break. When we come back, more with Business Connectors. We'll introduce you to a couple of other members. All of a sudden, I heard you talking, but your mouth wasn't moving.
I can do that.
Obviously. Vegas Unwrapped. We'll be back with more right after this. Oh my goodness! If you want to do what Mike just did, go to GoFundMe.com/Ricky Fan Club. That's the easiest way to do it. Or go to VegasUnwrapped.net and click on the Ricky Cash Fan Club tab. Remember, folks, your donations not only get you things back like T-shirts, pictures, show tickets, etc., but more importantly, they help us help the community with financial donations. So please check out the Ricky Cash Fan Club. All right, welcome back. We are interviewing and meeting with some members of the Business Connectors weekly networking group. By the way, the website is businessconnectorslv.com is the correct website. businessconnectorslv.com, and our schedule. The schedules are up there. Member services, businesses, anything and everything that you'd ever want to know about our group is there. And come on and check it out. Joining us now at the microphone is Mr. Rick Knowles and Miss Julie Winkler. How are you guys?
Hello.
That's great.
Good, good. Rick, you're involved with Legal Shield, and Julie is a PhD, professional hairdresser, providing a very unique service that no one else in Vegas does, right?
That's right.
We'll get to that in a second. Rick, talk about Legal Shield. Talk about the power of networking for you and what it's done for your business.
Legal Shield is a great way to get quality attorneys for those decisions that we have to make in life and get the documents done that we need to do. And what networking has meant to me is that it gives me an entree into people to get first to meet them, and especially I love the relationships that we establish with people, because it means that I have confidence in the quality of person that I'm either being recommended to, or that I can also recommend to my clients, and that makes me more valuable to my clients.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're able to help both sides of the coin, not just get referred business to you, but when somebody has a need for something else because of the connections with all these other businesses, you can refer them to somebody else.
Absolutely.
All right, man, you're right. It does make it more valuable because it's a two-way street. Julie, talk about your business and what makes you unique to what you do here in Vegas.
Well, what's unique about my business is I provide a service called computer digital imaging. And as a hairdresser, that's very valuable because I get to see people in styles before I perform them. And I've been performing this service since the late 90s. And computers being what they are and the way things morph the way they do, I'm about the only one that does it in the Las Vegas Valley anymore. Most people are very do-it-yourself with things, but I still use it constantly in my business, and I refer, it helps my present clientele and sometimes draws new clientele to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been going to networking groups, this one in particular, for the past 5 years, and it has brought me an audience that I couldn't necessarily get without a lot of advertising. When I owned a salon, I would put it in the yellow pages, and did get a lot of good response from that. But when I got out of the salon and now I'm a independent contractor, it was nice to find an audience in a different way,
Mhm.
and a more personal one-on-one audience.
Networking is pretty cost effective overall, isn't it?
Much more, I mean, Yellow Pages are almost cost prohibitive now, the way I understand it.
Do
I
they
mean,
still have
were-
Yellow Pages
They
nowadays?
still do. I get it thrown
It's
on
an
my
online thing,
doorstep.
actually.
But very expensive for a single person. Maybe as part of my budget as a big salon, it was okay, but
Right.
for me to do by myself, so to go out and meet people face to face, as I do in the networking groups, and to show people personally what I do is just much more effective for my business.
Mhm.
I imagine, knowing some women the way I do, that if they want their hair done in a specific way and it doesn't come out the way they want it, they get ballistic. Whereas in this case, you can actually show them what it is that it's gonna look like ahead of time. What an advantage to that. I mean, with all due respect, it's the first time I've heard this.
Mhm.
I think it's great. I know somebody who I would recommend that to in a heartbeat.
Hope she's not listening.
Uh,
I hope she is.
All depends on how she takes what you're saying.
Only because I want her to be happy with the results that
Ah,
she's got down.
I see.
How's that for a
Kick saving a beauty.
Thank you.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Nice recovery.
I may be sick, but I can still play the game.
You can still dance. Gotcha. Rick, talk to me about why business connectors, because there's so many groups out there, networking groups. And I have to admit, I belong to 2 or 3 different groups because they're in different pockets of town for me. But why, with the groups, and I don't know if you go to any other groups, but why business connectors? What is so important for that particular group that you became a member of?
There are a couple of reasons, and I, like you, belong to other groups and attend other groups. It's relatively close to where I live, so that it makes it great because I'm there and it's easy to attend, but the quality of the people and the relationships that we have with one another is possibly the biggest attraction that I have to business connectors.
Mm-hmm.
It, as I say, they say that people will buy from people who you know and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pleasure to do business with this group of people because over the period of time, we really have become friends. We've gotten to know each other either because we've done one-on-ones with each other and taken the time to get to know each other outside of the meetings. And
Right.
also, during the meetings, because we meet week after week after week, we really do get to know each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Julie, how about you? Because I know you're active in other groups and organizations.
I am active around town. I tend to stay though whereas other people might go out, I stay northwest, so I use the groups that are closest to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just really, I'm such a fan of networking like this, and I do encourage other people to do it all the time, and I constantly try to invite people to groups. It's a kind of a growing thing, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, groups come and go, but this one's held on, and I think, you know, it's a very valuable commodity for everybody that attends it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, network marketing, I think, for the small to medium-sized businesses gives us, because we're a part of that as well, a real competitive edge to increase our business at very little dollars in comparison to other methods of
Yeah.
marketing, and gives the small to medium-sized business that edge, Cash.
The other thing that is that, you know, and I found this in dealing with many of the network marketing people, they actually will discount for their services to members of the group.
Mhm.
And that's even more special because it makes you feel like, you know, hey, you're important, your business is important, and I want to show you my appreciation and thanks
Right.
by giving you my cost at a discounted price.
But we have to be careful in the networking arena, and I think you guys will back me up on this. It's one thing to get business from our fellow networkers within the groups, but there's a thing called a third-party referral, where really the long-term substantiation of the member base and that business staying in that group is getting referrals from outside. In other words, if I have a friend who's not a member of the group that needs a good salon person,
That's the person you want
that's
to
the
get
person
to.
you want to get to.
No
And
question about
that's
it.
the person that is lifelong sustaining.
Yeah.
And I also, for me, I have everybody's cards all the time in the
Mhm.
salon, and the women will start, you know, and all of a sudden somebody needs something about their mortgage, and
Right.
there you go, you know,
Right.
I mean, I'm telling people, you know, here, I've got a plumber, I've got a mortgage man, I've got an insurance guy, you know, I mean, there's just numerous occasions when I'm able to refer.
Right. And that's important. I mean, I've gone out soliciting on other business, and I remember one nail salon I was in when I was selling alarms, and they had a water pipe break. So who did I call? I called Aqua Plumbing. It was the first guy that came to mind to say, hey, Artie, you gotta get down here and help these guys. So that third-party referral is really the additional key and the success to any networking group. It's one thing to get business from your fellow members, but the long-sustaining life of a member within a networking group is really getting those third and fourth party referrals, and that's really important. So,
No question about that.
Doug, I want to call you back up to the microphone for a second, because as the facilitator of Business Connectors, and we're just about wrapping up time in this segment, what final thoughts do you have about networking that you want to share with our audience, about Business Connectors, about coming on down? Just give us some final thoughts.
Well, I tell everybody, just come down one time, have breakfast with us, see what the group is all about. A couple people I even offered to buy them breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So get them down there, let them see what the group is, let them meet the members and see how special the group really is. And also about the fan club, I sent you a little message earlier, but can I give cash to the fan club
Absolutely.
so I can become a member tonight? right?
Absolutely, you certainly
I'll
could.
do that.
All right,
Gotta love it.
absolutely.
Gotta love it.
Absolutely, we appreciate that. Absolutely, no question. Cash will talk to you about what the levels are if you don't know.
I already know.
Oh, okay. Well, and we thank you for that. All right, so it's Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., 6:45. Really get there a little bit early. You network with everybody. 7 o'clock, the meeting starts, and we're out of there in an hour. I mean, you want to go to a meeting and not lose half a day. This is the place to go, because by 8 o'clock you're out of there, and you can get to work by 9 or 8:30 and still have your full day. So come on down to the Bacon Bar and join us.
And it's good food.
Oh, and it is great food, and in terms of the value, the cost for breakfast.
I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love this.
Go ahead.
Since you're having your procedure on Tuesday.
There's no meeting this week.
Oh, see?
You were gonna go for me,
Go
weren't
for
you?
you.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
no
brought
meeting
me
this
He
week.
knew that. He already knew that.
Oh, here I was thought I was gonna make a big fan here.
No, I just saved you money because there's no meeting this week.
But the breakfast sounded so good.
You can still go for breakfast. I mean, but it is great value, and our server Sandy, she does a great job with us as well. So that's
But you will
part
be
of it.
meeting the following week, guys?
The
No.
Or you gonna wait till after the
No, we're not
first?
meeting till the
Sixth.
6th of January.
The 6th.
Sounds good.
Everybody's taking the 2 weeks off. So, guys, thank you for coming in. Rick, Julie, Doug, Ernie, thank you all for coming in. Artie missed out. I don't know where he was. Artie White was supposed to be here tonight as well. So we'll
Well,
have
let's give him a plug. What does Artie do?
Aqua Plumbing.
Oh, that Artie.
That Artie, yes.
Well, he knows this place.
Yeah, he knows us.
Fixing somebody's drain.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
What's his motto? If it doesn't, we keep you.
No, if it's brown, it's going down.
Right, that's right. There you go.
Oh,
So,
got it.
on that note, we will take our break. When we come back, it's John Styles. We're doing it with Styles to take us to the top of the hour. Vegas Unwrapped. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And we're clear, everybody.